Physical media is very important, kids. One day, maybe the cloud ain't there. How are you going to watch Dogma?
Being able to hold it in your hand and see the artwork and the posters and have the names, it's it's a real thing.
It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
Somebody had a birthday last week, Ben.
It was me.
No,
it wasn't.
Shit, I missed that one.
It was my wife. She had a birthday, and so did my father-in-law. They both had birthdays. That's the only birthdays we speak of.
Happy birthday,
we don't talk about.
Daddy.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I won't say how old I'm getting, but needless to say, I think I might have actually hit middle age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think we all have hit that point now, haven't we?
Yes.
Was it a concern when you first got together with your lovely wife? Did it go across your mind that your birthdays are so close together, so you're gonna have to share? You're not even gonna get no, you cook today because it's my birthday. When
I looked at the promise of us going away on our birthday and being able to spend some, and we did do that. We've done that in the past. Obviously, that's a thing of the past now. Would have been great if we'd had our daughter maybe around the 29th or the 30th of May, and then we could have gone away and we could have, for your birthday present, we're going to take you to LA, take you to Universal Studios and Disneyland. Hasn't paired up that way, but, hey, look. I mean, April's not that far from May anyway, but thank you guys for the well wishes. I appreciate it.
You can just stay on holiday for the whole period,
entire month. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm down for it. It just depends what kind of shape the US is in by the time we're ready to travel. There's probably going to be a tariff on my luggage, so I don't know.
Yeah. Or not.
Or not.
Case may be,
yeah. It's a daily thing.
You are here, as always, for your monthly roundup, or it's not even a roundup anymore. It's a forecast of what's coming.
Yeah, it is. Media. And it's a crafted, or should I say, curated pick of releases that are coming. I rarely mention any DVDs. Obviously, there are exceptions. Last month we had Rust.
Yep.
I felt compelled to talk about that one. And then this month there is a DVD I will mention. And purely because I believe that you gentlemen may be having a special guest from that movie on your program.
Awesome.
Might even be on this episode. I don't know. Oh, God. Anyway, gentlemen, it is an exciting month of releases. But, look, I'm probably going to talk about more of the repertory content, the stuff that's coming out on disc, but for the first time on 4K locally. So some of this stuff has been out overseas on 4K for a while, but thanks to the almighty AID, who are doing a terrific job of getting this back catalogue stuff out. They're not necessarily the greatest job in terms of packaging, because I did see the back of that backdraft release. And
yeah.
It was something else.
And why didn't they include Backdraft 2, damn it?
Yeah. Exactly. Well, look, if Viavision did it, there might have been a chance we could have got Backdraft 2 on there. But I do want to make one correction, because I was in a JB Hi-Fi recently during, of course, their buy one, get one free sale, which I went a little bit crazy on.
Daddy had time for that.
I made time for that. Yeah. Actually, no, that's what I did do. Did I do that for my birthday? Yeah, I did, because we had to go to JB Hi-Fi to buy Danny's dad a gift. And I didn't leave empty-handed. No, I left with the George Peppard and another box set, the Sidney J. Fury box set. So, yeah, needless to say, I spent a couple $100 at the old JB for the buy one, get one free. But one thing I did notice is that the recent AID releases of, I think wasn't Philadelphia, it was Snatch, and there was another title. And it did turn out they ended up releasing the 4K Blu-ray components. So it did mean you get all the special features. Initially, the art that I had seen had said 4K only.
Yeah.
So anyway, hats off to them. At least they're getting those special features out there. I dare say they won't do it on the releases I want. They'll always do it on things that have been around for a million years. But regardless, good work, guys. And they've got a ton of stuff coming out this month.
I've literally spent the entire day today working on looking up extra features and what extra features are available and what's going around. And it's shocking the amount of times that the press release doesn't actually contain half of the things.
I find quite often they will say, and more coming soon, or to be announced.
To be announced. You're like, damn it. When? It came out 2 weeks ago. Why haven't you updated this?
Well, the biggest mystery out there regarding special features in a release is, I believe it's coming out July 2nd, so we are jumping a month ahead, but that James Bond collection, the Sean Connery James Bond collection, that's coming out July 2nd, although Roadshow's being a bit cagey about it and, putting the date out there, but it's July 2nd. And that release, nowhere has there been revealed what special feature content's going to be on there, where we know that it's got Dolby Vision, but we don't know if they're brand new 4K scans from the original camera negative. They've been a bit cagey about releasing any of the details. And it's an odd release because it's like a co-pro between Warner, MGM, and Amazon, and then locally distributed through Roadshow. But it's coming out globally, roughly around the same time. And everyone's wondering the same thing: are these brand new transfers? Are they the same transfers?
They just revealed the cover art, and I quite like it. It's like
I'm a fan too. There's a lot of backlash, but I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think
it's a good take. But yeah, look, I actually I pre-ordered a copy of that.
Of course you did.
But, I know that I'm doing the same thing that, I probably almost did when Rocky came out and they released Rocky and then released Rocky 1 to 4 and you couldn't get 5 and 6. Now they're doing the Bonds, so we'll buy all the Connery Bonds and then by the end of the year they'll probably release the complete Bond box set. Like they're doing the Nightmare on Elm Street. Like that's coming in September, October.
Yep.
Complete Elm Street, but they fooled everyone into buying just Elm Street alone. But I took the bait, and I mean, look, the Connery ones are the best Bonds in my opinion. The Connery and the Timothy Dalton ones, which is probably controversial, but I really like the Timothy Dalton Bond.
This conversation has just been in circles for the past month. Ben and I have had this conversation a few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Excellent. Oh, there you go. My ears were burning. But yeah, that release is the most interesting one because we're almost a month out from it dropping locally. We're less than a month out of it dropping in the UK and the US, and it's still a bit of a mystery as to what it is. And people are paying up, large sums of money for this box. I mean, they're doing oh my God, in the UK they're doing a steelbook version, and the steelbook art is hideous. Like if they were using the original theatrical key art, amazing. But no, they're doing this anyway. I'm glad they're not doing that locally. So yes, I did pre-order that one, and I was like, you know what, it's probably going to drop around at 20% off or a sale here or there. I go, the price is right, I'm keen, and I have it on good authority, they will have Atmos. So that was what got me over the line. Classic Bond in Atmos. But anyway, that's jumping into July. So moving back to June, first week of June 4th, we've got a bunch of releases coming out. Got Mickey 17, which admittedly I didn't catch theatrically. Did you guys go to a preview of this one?
We did indeed.
IMAX, wasn't it?
I can't remember if it was IMAX or
I think it was.
I loved it. I love that you go to the movies that often. You can't even remember if you saw something in IMAX.
It was either.
We don't particularly prefer IMAX. That's the
funny
problem.
thing is, in my head,
same.
it was either IMAX or the backlot. So it's either the biggest screen in Australia or the smallest.
Yeah, look.
But the beauty of the backlot is if you sit close enough to the front, it's almost like IMAX.
It's like being at IMAX.
Because the cinema's quite small.
I had mixed feelings about Mickey 17. I liked half of it and didn't like the other half.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And Ben thought more of
great.
it.
Was the first half the half you liked, Glenn? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough then. Yeah, all right. Well, I won't know till I get to the middle if I'm going to like it or not. I won't blind buy it. I'm going to stream it, and we'll see how I go.
I won't take that personally.
No. Well, I might be on the Glenn camp, or I could be in the Ben camp. We'll see. Mickey 17. Looking forward. Just coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD. Of course, the 4K is going to have Atmos. So, look, if it had come out during the buy one get one free, I would have blind bought it.
Yeah.
Just for that Atmos, but it didn't. So I'm just going to wait it out. Hey. Quick admission, I did buy Wolfman on 4K. I know I slagged it, but I did read the commentary track is supposed to be fantastic. And so as long as it includes an apology, I'm keen to listen to it.
And my interview with Lee got you across the line, didn't it?
It did
Absolutely.
Indeed. I saw it on the YouTube the other day. In fact, I dropped by the YouTube briefly because Owen at Via Vision, he wanted me to send a link talking about the Man Bites dog. And so when I saw that, I realised I was very conscious of, I'm going to keep my hands down because I feel like I'm doing this throughout the entire thing, like just scratching at my face. Must have been Lee Winnell's Wolfman or something like that. I don't know. But anyway. But yeah, moving on. So Mickey 17's coming out same week. We've got Hard Eyes. Unfortunately, this one's only coming out in Blu-ray and DVD. I was actually a big fan of this one. I didn't expect to like it, but I didn't expect it was going to be a rom-com slasher. I thought it was just going to be a, light kind of comedy slasher.
These titles being this week, right? Yeah. They're dropping this week.
Yeah, sorry, I'm living in the future. Yes, they're out this Wednesday. If you're listening right now and it's Monday, they're out Wednesday.
And of course,
but if you're
Josh
listening
Rubin,
any day
director
past
of Hard Eyes, is on this show.
He's on this show.
Yeah.
That's,
there you go.
That's perfectly aligned.
When are we going to hear from the actress from Natty Knox?
Oh,
Natty
yes,
Knox.
that's coming up. That's a
That's
couple
another
of weeks
one.
away.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, anyway, well, that's just as well because that one's not coming out for a couple of weeks. But I will touch on it, obviously, because I'm only here once a month. But yes, so Hard Eyes. I was a big fan. Did you guys?
Yeah,
You guys would have
enjoyed
obviously
it.
seen this one theatrically. Yeah, I just watched it on streaming, as is the case. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah.
I think knowing that it's a comedy from a director that makes comedy horror
Yes.
makes it a better film. I think if you go
Yeah.
in expecting it just to be a regular slasher, you might be disappointed.
Yeah, but it's pretty obvious right from I guess it's about expectations.
Oh, that
but
opening
it's-
sequence is
it's pretty-
fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hooks you straight in. But it is funny actually seeing Josh like sort of transition from like an indie filmmaker. Like Werewolves Within was probably a bit broader, not like Scare Me, which was definitely, an indie type film. But this one is that broader sort of more studio appeal, and he really works in both, sort of realms quite well. But I loved it. Like I said, I'm probably just going to wait it out because I hope that someone's going to do a 4K release of it.
He's a
at some
genuinely
point.
down to earth guy too, and I think that's what makes me like his films even more.
Yeah, and you've interviewed him a couple times now.
Yeah,
haven't you?
yeah. He's one of us.
Yeah, excellent. That's what you like to hear. Anyway, that one's coming out, Blu-ray, DVD, but like I said, hopefully a 4K is on the way at some point. I mean, it's Universal. Universal are pretty, known for dropping Blu-rays and then 4K 4 to 6 months later in the States and the UK, so it may happen. Also, we've got Wake in Fright that's coming out for the first time in 4K UHD. This is the 4K restoration coming out from Umbrella in a spectacular edition. I do have a special feature on this one. I shot it. That was all I did. I didn't have to do anything other than shoot it. But it was with Philippe Mora and what's his name again? Not John Harrison. No, who's the film buffs guy?
Harris. Yeah,
Paul Harris.
Paul Harris.
Paul
Harris.
Harris. That's it. Yeah, baby brain. But yeah, I shot something with him, which was terrific because he had a lot of great anecdotes about Donald Pleasance and having worked with him on other films. But I don't know how much of it made the cut because I don't know how much you can kind of get away with saying. I know that Donald's leftist, but still some of the stuff I don't know. Anyway, regardless, afterward I asked him a lot of questions about Howling 2. Which was fantastic. I just had a one-on-one about Howling 2.
Who ended up cutting it?
I don't know. Mark, maybe?
Yeah,
Mark
right.
Hartley, maybe? I don't know. Does Mark edit stuff as well?
He does, yeah. He would, and he was working on this. I just didn't think he was working on it to that level.
Inside information
Yeah.
for everybody watching.
Yeah.
Inside baseball. There is a beautiful Q&A, probably one of the last Q&As that the director did at Monster Fest, which would have been a great inclusion. Unfortunately, it just didn't make the cut. But who knows? Maybe it'll turn up on an international release down the track. But for now,
I mean, he could
this
be
Wake
he could be the lead in Weekend at Bernie's 2 or 3, I should say.
Yeah, Weekend at Ted's.
Weekend at Ted's.
We doesn't have to answer any of those rumours about what happened on the set of First Blood.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
With Sylvester.
It's a shame,
and the,
actually, that Ted didn't stick around long enough to give us that special edition of Weekend at Bernie's, because I think, Wake in Fright, it's fantastic to have an ultimate release of that, but we've had some pretty good releases of that as time's gone on, but we haven't had an ultimate edition of Weekend at Bernie's as
Yeah,
yet.
the cover could
Yeah.
be made of like hot tar.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I'm so in for that.
Funnily
And
enough-
if Viavision release it, maybe they can put Weekend at Bernie's 2 in there.
Oh my god.
That would be great.
Actually, Viavision have the rights to Weekend at Bernie's because they did do a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking at the time this would have been a great addition in the imprint set. Like it could have been completely off,
Off brand.
No one would have anticipated that one. No one. There's been some interesting releases in the imprint collection though. Like Let's Get Harry was a bit of an odd inclusion, and the Juror. I mean, I like these movies. Don't get me wrong, but they are odd inclusions. Yeah.
It's so hard to tell what's the difference between a Viavision title and an imprint title and
Yeah.
how it all works.
Well, it's strange too because there's some really great Viavision releases that they've commissioned special features for, and they're terrific editions.
Loads.
And you're like, why wasn't this an imprint release? Like I don't know what the science is behind it, but look, I applaud them because, I'll buy whatever they put out as long as they keep putting out good stuff.
Yep.
Actually, I've got something I want to talk about, one of their releases, and it's not something they sent me. It's something I paid my own hard cash for, but I want to talk about. But I'm going to save that for the end.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. So we've got Spit that's coming out. Now, this is the sequel character sequel to Getting Square, which is coming out through Viavision, funnily enough, on Blu-ray and DVD. And they're releasing Getting Square for the first time on Blu-ray as well, which is great. I haven't seen Spit yet, but I was a huge fan of Getting Square. So
and they've packaged both of these to be similar, like they in a collection.
Yeah, they've got these kind of cool, retro sort of beach art kind of covers.
Ben and I watched Spit together. We enjoyed it. Yeah,
yeah.
It's got
Did you
some
see
great
it at
lines.
IMAX?
We saw it in
We saw it
we saw it in the eye lounge, just over there
on the other side
on the other side of that wall.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Oh well, there's no better place to watch.
but
a movie.
it gave us a few belly laughs. Like it's got some great one-liners and some zingers in there. Yeah,
And he's
good.
wearing some
I'm looking to
magnificent
check it out.
pants in the film. There's lots of
I
lots
love
of magnificent
David
pants.
Wenham. He's just a fantastic actor, and he really embodies that character with huge gusto. So I'm looking forward to checking that one out. Then we've also got, now these are exciting ones coming out from AID, coming from the Universal Library. Jaws 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I did pick these up a while ago from the States.
Yeah.
And I went straight to Jaws 3 because I had a bit of a fever for Dennis Quaid at the time and wanted to watch Jaws 3. I hadn't seen it for a while. Plus, I wanted to see what all of this AI upscaled sort of business happening with the crowd in the background was like, and if I'd even noticed it. I sure enough noticed it. Like, they've done a good restoration, but when it's a film of the Jaws 3D nature, the way it was shot with the cameras they shot, I just think they should have just left it grainy as all hell in the background rather than they did processing and distorted faces.
Have they tried to, like with the upgrade, have they tried to smooth over those 3D effects and sort of, tone them down a bit? No? Still in your face?
Not in the least. Not in the least. No, they look just as bad, if not worse, because now they're in 4K sharp clarity. Every line, no.
I just
they
think
spent all the money doing the AI on the people in the background that are like, they look like, what's his name from RoboCop?
Clarence.
Clarence,
I just think if you're going to fuck around with an old film, do it for streaming. For the physical collectors, leave them as that, because they want the one that they saw when it came out.
Yeah.
Or when they were a kid.
100%.
They don't want, let the new generation who will watch it on Netflix or Amazon Prime, let them have the fiddled with one.
I mean, and the thing is, they're not even probably
molested
going to
one.
watch it. They're going to have their phone in their hands or doing other things while the film's not
they won't
giving
even
it their
notice
attention anyway. So they won't notice. It'll just fly by. Actually, just quickly going back, I talked about Hard Eyes before. I did watch another contemporary slasher in a very similar vein to that new Netflix Fear Street one.
Oh, yeah.
I
Prom
looking
Night.
forward to that. I
Prom
haven't seen it
Queen,
yet.
I haven't watched
Prom
it yet
Queen.
either.
Oh, I watched it last night. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, look, I'm not going to hype you up because it's a very average film, but it delivers on all fronts. It's very gory.
It's
and
not
funny.
connected to the other Fear Street stories.
No,
Yeah, I was really
as if it's just an R.L. Stein,
Yeah, cool.
one of the Fear Street books adapted to feature. But yeah, no, I liked it. It's for what it is. It's a lot of fun. I didn't take it very seriously, and I enjoyed every second of it. And it felt short. I think it ran at like less than 90 minutes. It was beautiful.
I was really disappointed that Lee Janiak wasn't back behind the camera, because she did the last three.
Yeah,
and I thoroughly enjoyed.
I think
those.
that the last three were essentially one project. I think now moving forward,
Yes.
it's just going to be a new movie every year or two.
Totally.
From
I
the
think
Fear
they're
Street
commissioning
label.
a new writer-director to do
Yeah.
each one as such, which is, I'm all down for because it keeps a kind of an anthology nature.
Well, it
of
might
that.
also
It
be
should
a
lot of fun.
good stepping stone into the business for a lot of up and coming filmmakers.
Oh, 100%. Oh, man, and there's I don't want to ruin a thing, but there's a really great referenced actually multiple times, and really overtly as well, a film that we actually, funnily enough, played at the Weekender recently. But I'll leave it with you guys to find out that yourself. So moving on, we've got one of the releases. Now, I'm sure that you've got her, Danielle Harris, on at some point.
In a
to
couple
talk
of
about
weeks'
this
time.
movie.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Natty Knox. That's a DVD only release coming out. Is that coming out through Eagle, Glenn?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. Now, it was good to see Eagle releases when I went into the JB, front-facing Eagle releases and DVDs, because not often you see a DVD front-facing at the JB Hi-Fi. The real estate is a premium, so more often than not, it's the Blu-rays or the 4Ks that take precedence. But Yeah, I saw an Eagle DVD and I went, oh, there you go.
We had a fantastic chat with her. We've put the interview in the can. Just for people that don't know how it works, some things come along and take priority. So she's sort of in a couple of weeks' time, a week after Natty Knox drops, to make room for something a little bit more pressing. But she's a fantastic conversation. She's a podcaster too, so she's just used to talking on the mic.
Got the gift of the gab. And now is it Dwight Little that directed that one? Who did Halloween 4 and 5 and... What else did he do? He did a bunch of action films.
Oh yeah,
too.
he did Rapid Fire, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he did. He did Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee.
He did Free Willy 2, and the interesting thing is she was in Free Willy 1, and then Dwight directed Free Willy 2, and his stepson is Jason James Richter, which is why he was in Natty Knox. He's a producer as well. Did you recognise him?
Wow, small world. No, I still haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay,
no, I haven't seen it yet. No, but I'm just excited that it's getting a release.
Bill Moseley and Robert Englund. It's got it like they've all come back for Dwight.
And she's
cool, yeah.
And she's got a new movie coming out that I think they're still working on the edit for, which sounds great, like a bit like a vacancy type thing.
She's directed this one, another one?
She's co-directed with Taylor Scout Compton.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's a cool double up.
They host the podcast together.
Yeah.
Right.
It's called something like Talk Scary to Me, or that's the name of the podcast.
Yeah.
Something like that,
Yeah.
We did one of their films back in the day, did we not, Ben?
We did
Among Friends?
Among Friends that she directed,
Yeah. That's right. There you go. Probably available on the Monster site for $10. Get on there and grab it.
Oh, I don't know. The Monster Pictures shop has been depleted lately. It's gone through.
Really?
It's gone through a bit of a cull with things shifting out of license and stuff, and so there's not that much there anymore. Like a lot of it's kind of last chance. Yeah. Last chance to get it.
Last chance saloon. Okay, so moving on to June 18th, gentlemen. AID have a ton of 4K, first time to 4K local releases. We've got American Graffiti.
Yep.
This is one I have not picked up on import from the States because I did read that the transfer was like super DNR'd. Like everyone looked like wax mannequins. Like, it was Madame Tussauds or something like that. It's horrible. But look, if it's the right price, I'll pick it up locally because I don't think this film's going to get a second chance. I don't think Universal really will sub-license it to anyone. I don't see them double-dipping anytime soon to do it. But also, missed opportunity not to do more American
I was
Graffiti.
about to say the exact same thing. Like, why not? God damn it!
Could have at least included it,
which was a fairly
feature.
Decent film in and of itself.
It was a proper theatrical release. So, well, you know what? It's someone like Kina Lorber that's going to do it for sure in the States because they are doing Airplane 2. And, Paramount did the first one. I mean, I don't know if Paramount's going to do the other Naked Guns or not.
Well, it's the Airplane 2 is the other movie that David Zucker refuses to watch.
You
just can't unsee it.
Oh, my God. Bless him.
It's funny. He's doing, how he's doing the rounds slagging off the new Naked Gun, right?
I've seen it everywhere.
He's giving them the same line he gave me, 4 years ago? You just can't unsee it. Why don't I watch it? Because you can't unsee it. It's like, come on.
Time for David to go into a home, I think.
Time for David to actually catch up on these movies and see that Airplane 2 is fucking great.
Yes, actually, it's a great sequel.
Yeah, there are other people who are good too. It's not just you. You're not the only funny person in the whole world who's ever existed.
No, that's it. Plus, you should be held accountable for your crimes of what you committed to the Scary Movie franchise.
That's the weird thing I find. He's doing all these interviews and they're introducing him the creator of Naked Gun, Flying High, and Scary Movie, David Zucker. I'm like, hang on, back that up.
The Wayans brothers, man. The Wayans brothers. Come on. They got done dirty by old Bob and Harvey over there at Miramax and Dimension on that one.
That's right.
So moving on, Animal House. National Lampoon's Animal House coming out 4K. This is an essential buy. Again, yes, it has been out in the US for 4 or 5 years, and I did buy it 4 or 5 years ago, but it is a must-own. It looks fantastic. It sounds amazing, and it's Animal House.
Yes.
Then AID are also releasing Moon on 4K. Another title's been out for a number of years overseas, but a really welcome release.
I just wouldn't have thought there was demand for that.
Agreed, yeah, I know, it's an odd one. It's not like World of Warcraft or whatever. The Warcraft movie did a lot for old Bowie's son, so much so that people want to dig into his back catalogue of films, but there you go, Moon's coming out. It is a great film. I think it's really like a forgotten type of film as well.
Yeah.
You rarely hear it ever mentioned, but That one's coming out. Then the last release I kind of want to mention that's coming out on June 18th, Time Stalker, which is the new Alice Lowe film. You know her from Revenge, and I can't even remember. What was the other one?
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Of course.
She's in.
Absolutely.
She's in, a bunch of stuff. But she directed
great
Revenge.
writer,
And
director, actress, yeah.
that's the big one I remember is Revenge, but there's been one
Revenge
since.
there was one in between this and Time Stalker, and I can't remember what it was.
When I went to
But yeah.
Fantastic Fest when that movie came out, she was literally in the hotel room next to me, and I, at the time, didn't really know who she was. I was like, oh, she looks familiar. Didn't think anything of it.
She probably had a glass to the wall while you were wanking.
No, well, unfortunately, she would have been in for a rude surprise because that was the one where I had a kidney stone, and so I was in the hotel room moaning and there's a lot of weird kind of crawling around noises, but it was not
Not
it was
of that
not in
variety.
pleasure,
Not for the right reasons.
not in pleasure.
Now, before I go, guys, I did want to talk about this one. This is the one I did pay my own hard-earned money for.
Ah, of course.
It's the TV movie of the week, Volume 2
each
set.
time they release a box like that, I just think of you.
Oh, man, it's amazing. There's nothing like a TV movie. Like, it's something that you don't have to give 100% of your concentration. And let's face it, as a father of a newborn, I don't have any ability to concentrate on anything but the baby most of the time. So I was able to give this film, or all three of these films, 65% of my attention at points in time.
There's something wonderful
And
about
I watched them all. And, I refuse to put on anything that I've actually want to watch because I'm scared, I'm not going to watch it. And I don't like to break up the viewing experience when it's a good movie. But these I was able to, throw down real fast.
And can I just throw this out to Vision? If you're watching, if you're listening, when you do the next volume, please put Poison Ivy in there, the Michael J. Fox one.
Oh my God, please.
Yeah.
Please. I know I've had a similar thought as well because this volume, the last volume was kind of like mystery and sci-fi, and a kind of like a thriller as well. I think that was the general tone. This one is more to do with sort of serious issues. There's one about pedophilia. There's one about a rapist. And then what was the last one about? Oh, the other one's about an alcoholic. Martin Sheen is an alcoholic.
What are the
probably
movies?
Lighten the mood. Lighten the mood.
Yeah, what are
Let's
they?
do a comedy box set. Okay, so the Martin Sheen one, Shattered Spirits from 1986.
Great
And it
name
has-
for an alcoholic movie.
Does it not? Yeah, it's an incredible name. You might remember it. I think it went direct to video here rather than straight to TV. I think it was released through Roadshow. I remember seeing the ad, but I never followed up on watching it. I did watch it, and look, it's probably, in my opinion, it's probably the most competent and best of the lot in terms of just overall production structure, but it's probably the least enjoyable one. Look, my dad liked a few drinks, so I lived with that. I didn't need to see that as a movie, but it does have an absolutely awesome soundtrack, and I don't know how it's been released with all those songs that are in it, but it has. I think it's owned by Multicom, so who knows if they really did license all that music for the release. I don't know. The other two releases, I think, in the box set, Terror Among Us, which is about a paroled rapist that basically, a leopard can't change its spots, and he goes out there and he continues to do what he does best. Awful stuff. And then the last one is Fallen Angel, which is Richard Masser, from Boogedy, Mr. Boogedy, Bride of Boogedy.
Which is also kind of a pedophile story.
Shoot to kill. Yeah.
And he plays a pedophile in this. And he's
because the other one's a rapist. This one's a pedophile.
Yeah, that's right. This is what he does best.
Yeah.
you got all the quality characters.
Isn't it?
It was funny.
Isn't it one of the daughters from
National Lampoon's.
National Lampoon's Vacation?
Yeah, National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
Dana
daughter.
Hill or whatever her name is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Dana
young
Barron.
girl
I think
that
it's Dana Barron.
Yeah.
gets exploited by Richard Masser.
I do
in it.
remember that one, and they released it PG because that was his way to lure the kids in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a bad joke. That's a bad joke.
But that said, look, what I did was, because I wanted to watch them all as much as one another. So I took them all out of the box and I shuffled them behind my back and I said to Danny, look, I'm going to drop one behind me and I've got two.
And she says, we've got a child to look after. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? Why are we playing games? Put the movie on. We've got 5 minutes. We can watch 5 minutes. And I said, which one do you want to choose? And she'd already made it pretty clear, maybe not the one about pedophilia, which is completely understandable. She chose the one with pedophilia, unbeknownst to her. So that was the first one we watched from the box set, Fallen Angel. But it is a great set. Unfortunately, as two of the titles are Sony properties, there's no special features. And then I think the one that's the multicom film, which is Shattered Spirits, has maybe a trailer and that's it. It's just a bit of a missed opportunity because it would have been great to have someone like Amanda Reyes or something like authority on TV movies to contribute something to it. I think that's what kind of lacking about this set because the other one, Volume 1, was loaded with special features and this one's sort of lacking. But regardless, I think the actual quality of the films is better in this box set. So
The other one,
anyway, look,
the big would be that Take the Park with Tommy Lee Jones or whatever it's called.
Oh, the Park,
The Park is
is Mine.
Mine.
Park is Mine. The Park
Yes.
is Mine because that's had
That
a
has,
Blu-ray.
that has had a standalone release, that one, for some reason.
Kino Lorber did it in the US, so yes, it
Yeah.
could come out locally. Let's
No, they
put
could
that
do
in the set.
Gargoyles.
There's so many great movies.
Yeah, I
that
know.
you
Well,
could-
we heard that they were doing a Gargoyles restoration how many years ago, and nothing's come
Nothing's
of it. But
happened.
then another thing is they did a 4K restoration of Assault on Precinct 13 like 3 or 4 years ago, but the people that have done the restoration only own theatrical rights. They can't do home ent. And then whoever's got the home ent rights seemingly wasn't interested. So there's just a 4K restoration of Assault on Precinct 13 collecting dust.
Or an Aussie one with I Live With My Dad.
Yeah, cornflakes for tea.
Cornflakes for tea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I live
yeah.
with my dad. Mull.
Yeah.
Was Mull made for TV movie?
No, I reckon that was theatrical. Anyway, sorry,
I
Jarret.
remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one. Anyway, that's it, gentlemen. But this is, I know, obviously being one of these Viavision, they're all individually got their own little individual cases in there and whatnot. But yeah, it's about the only thing I've watched, and I watched all 3 films in 2 days. It was just something else. I think I almost managed to watch all 3 in one day, and that's unheard of.
That never happens.
So.
That didn't
Oh,
happen.
no.
That doesn't happen for me, and I don't have a baby at home.
No, precisely. Yeah, no. But yeah, the beauty of a good TV movie is, like I said, it's like a warm hug. You know, even if it is about raping,
Babies.
pedophilia or drinking or whatever. The good thing about that is you can just like watch it, take some comfort in it, and know there's much more worse things going on in the world.
Man, and you know the best parts of this conversation I cannot clip for TikTok. Thank you very much, Ben.
Yeah, no, it's true. Anyway, shout out to Owen. I know I didn't get this one for free, Owen, but anyway, I hope I've talked it up enough. I think the real selling points are pedophilia, rapist, and alcoholic. Get the box set. Available at all good retailers.
A feel-good trio.
Feel good retailers. Yeah, but there is a volume 3. It has been announced and it's headed out. I think it's headed out pretty soon. It might even be out as soon as July. I can't recall what the films are, but needless to say, I hope I've seen none of them because I will blind buy them all. But yeah, until that happens, let's get that bloody Poison Ivy. Let's get this TV comedy box set.
Do a Poison Ivy box set with all of the Drew Barrymore and Milano.
The Drew Barrymore and Milano ones.
Tack that onto the end.
Yeah, that'd
Jamie
be great.
Presley.
The ultimate Poison
Nancy
Ivy
McKellen.
collection.
the forgotten Poison Ivy.
And you can just have all of those sensual ladies, and then Michael J. Fox in those tiny little camp shorts.
Yeah.
Sort of standing next to them. It'd be phenomenal. But yeah. Anyway, gentlemen, look, that's it for this month. It is a small array of films that I've selected, but I knew that time is of the essence, and I think the last one we did was like 38 minutes. So
Yeah, something like
I think
that.
this one might be down at about 32 minutes. So fingers crossed. Anyway, gentlemen, until next time,
Stay
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 physical.
physical.